Hi everyone. This is my weeks 5 and 6 postpartum video log. Um, my kids are playing right outside, so you can hear them. I'm in the Airstream, which is like my office, and Winter is asleep on the bed in the Airstream right now. So I wanted to get this video up last week, and I know it's a bit late, but it was just kind of a crazy week with the election going on, and that was just really where my focus was. It was kind of hard to think about anything else. So I came to the end of the first 40 days, and it was really such an incredible time. And I've had lots of people ask me, like, what is the deal with the first 40 days? Or, like, is that a thing? Or, it's funny, I didn't really know much about the first 40 days until I read books about it, and the actual book, The First 40 Days, is amazing. But I read about, different mama's journeys where they had the first 40 days at home, and they call it the laying in period. And just like what the experience was like for them and their healing process. And I wanted to see if that was something that would be, really different for me with this third baby. And because we're in the middle of COVID, it was definitely something that I could do because we're all home all the time. So I'm not racing off to go do drop-offs or pickups and stuff like that. So I was able to fully engage. And there were days that were harder than others where I really wanted to, okay, look, I need to do some work, or I need to do this, and I had to keep telling myself, nope, this is the time for you to heal, the time for you to lay in bed, to be with baby. And honestly, I really wish it was possible for every mother to have this experience, because for me here, I had Eric because he's in and out of work, so he's here. But I had Sonia, who's our nanny and postpartum doula, and one of my best friends in the whole world. So she, with all the love in her body, really took care of me. And I was able to take those deep breaths and tell myself, no, you need to stay in bed, and or stay in your room, and not try to reorganize your whole closet, or whatever it is that I wanted to do. I allowed myself to work here and there when I needed to, but mainly I tried to focus on Winter and her needs, and just sort of picking up her rhythm and her cues, and bonding with her, and allowing the kids the time to bond with her as well. Because if I was in one place in our house, the kids could kind of come to me in between their Zoom calls and stuff for school, and ask to hold her and help me with changing her diaper, or helping me get her a new outfit, or whatever it was. So it was a really amazing time. They were so excited for us to be done so that we could go to Malibu. And on day 40, Malibu is kind of the place that we always love to go and hang at the beach, and just the kids love it. Wyatt surfs with Eric, and Esme plays in the waves, and no matter if it's cold, no matter if it's warm, we always do it. So day 40, we went to Malibu, and Winter pretty much slept the whole time. I had her in a carrier, and we have different kinds of carriers. I think I talked to you about them last time. I ended up using the one that has the straps that go behind me for this particular outing, but I was a little nervous about the car ride and how she would be, just because we really have been at home, and I'm used to just kind of throwing the baby in the car from 2 weeks on and running around, and it's always a little stressful because you're worried they're going to start crying, they're going to hate the car. The other kids never love it when their sibling is crying. Wyatt always hated it. Esme, she doesn't like it either. And I think naturally you just have this instinct. She's waking up, so I'm going to walk over and give her her passy. You have this instinct where, hi, show you baby. Oh, she's stretching. Hi, sweet girl. Do you want to take this back? You want to take this back? Oh no, you just want to smile? Are you just going to smile? Do you want this? Do you want that? No? Oh, maybe. Okay. But you have this, like, I don't know, she has this, like, amazing natural instinct with the baby where she, like, gives her a passy and rubs her, like, right here on her forehead, and she, like, falls back asleep. And so it's really cute. And Esme loves that. But, you know, when the baby's crying, she's like, do something, Mom, or she's gonna do something, you know. And so I just was worried that would be not great for everyone, and Winter ended up being fine. She was fully sleeping in the car, and the next weekend, though, we got in a lot of traffic, and I think she needed to burp, and then later found out that she had pooped, and when she poops, like, she wants to be changed immediately. So she cried pretty hard in the car. So my solution for that, for the new mamas out there, if you can't get the baby to stop crying in the car with a passy or whatever, we actually pulled over because we needed gas, and I got out of the car and I held the car seat, and I just kind of swung the car seat back and forth, and it took maybe 5 minutes or something. I just kept swinging it really gently, and she was kind of upset, and I kept trying to give her the passy. She finally took the passy, and then with the swinging motion, she fell asleep, and then I just gently clicked it back into the car. She slept the whole rest of the way. So, you know, that was something that a friend of mine had told me back when I had Wyatt, and I tried it a few times, and it totally worked. It doesn't always work when you click them back in. Sometimes they wake up, but it's just kind of one of those things that it's something to try in your list of things to try when baby's crying really hard. So anyway, our first experience out there was amazing, and the kids loved having her with them, even though she slept the whole time. And it was beautiful. And then, you know, I noticed during week 6 that she started doing very similar things that Esme did around this time, where she was like gnawing on her hand and blowing bubbles, and she started making sounds instead of like grunting or there's a sound. I think her passy just fell out. She started making like noises where she sounds like a little lion, where she's like, or hi, oh, how's that? And sometimes it's like, wah, or, you know, they almost have like vocal sounds like da or wah, and there's like a little goo and, you know, gaga sound to it, and it's so cute because you just know that that's like the next step is, you know, instead of just those newborn cries, they start actually vocalizing a little bit. And hi, oh, are you gonna have the hiccups? Gonna bring her over here and feed her, so hold on 1 second. I'm gonna pick her up. Hello, you. Okay, here we go. So that was something really fun about the last 2 weeks. And then I went to my doctor right at week 6, and I had my, you know, week 6 checkup, and I think there's a lot of, like, pressure for people to feel, look, and seem somewhat back to themselves after the 6th week, but I've always felt that I still feel like I just had a baby at that time, and, I still have, like, the linea nigra line down my stomach. My stomach still sticks out and has that, baby pouch or whatever, and I usually have that for months, like 6 months to a year. And then, there's a lot that goes into, that you have to put into your body afterwards, right? If you're, like, nourishing yourself with good foods, and then also just starting to do your Kegels and any kind of work that you need to do on your, like, diastasis recti. For me, I have to do work on that, and part of that is that I'm not on my feet too much, and that I'm lifting things properly, or lifting up my kids properly by holding in my stomach, because it just puts so much more pressure on that separation in the stomach. So, I have a great doctor who talked to me a lot about my pelvic floor, and he talks to me about my Kegels, but that's not always the case. So if your care provider is not talking to you about that, it's definitely something you should ask. What can I do for my pelvic floor? What can I do to increase my to protect my stomach now that my stomach has been separated and my organs are all trying to go back to their place? Like, what can I do? If they don't have the right information, like, we have a lot of resources on Yours and Mama. And I'm actually currently working on a postpartum resource guide to help with some of these things, just because it would be nice to have that access at your fingertips for afterwards, because I kind of know, okay, I can do the Every Mother app and work on my DR, or, I know how to do Kegels, and I can work on them throughout the day, like when I'm breastfeeding, or, riding in the car or something. And also just, like, what foods are super nourishing for you, and what teas you could be drinking, and sitz baths, the whole thing, right? So we will have a resource guide for that, which I think will be really helpful. Hi, you're making all kinds of fun noises, aren't you? And for the next postpartum video log, I will have more info on Winter from going to the doctor, because we're going to go there when she's 2 months old exactly. So I'll have some info on her and her development and her size and everything. I think she's about 14 pounds right now. I don't know exactly because we haven't been there yet, but roughly that seems about right. And then it seems like she's really paralleling Esme's journey with size and length and weight and everything. For some reason, she seems a bit longer to me than Esme, but I honestly am not sure yet. And in terms of, I'm not sure if, I think Halloween happened during these last 2 weeks. It did. And we hung out, together with with my niece and nephew and Dave and Danny, and it was so nice for the kids to be able to play. And since Eric and Daniela are working together on the show, we're all very quarantined, so it's just nice that they still have a couple little friends that they can play with, and their cousins are their favorite humans ever, so it's amazing. And Winter got to meet her auntie and uncle for the first time. It's so different not, being able to share your baby with your friends, and, that whole experience is very different. And it can feel sometimes isolating being a mom, and I'm sure especially, like, during this time of being home during quarantine and everything. So I hope during that time that you reach out to your friends and family and make sure to stay connected with people over text or video or whatever it is that, that makes you feel connected. But check out the Wonder Weeks app, and if you haven't, and it's really fun to follow leaps in that app. And then I'll be back with more info for next time. Bye.